Hi, Kuya Kababligan here, sharing another story for every Filipino who knows the fear we inherit from the places we grow up in. These are our stories, and I hope they remind you to look around and share your own. This time, I'm stepping out of the haunted halls of our old home and taking you on a road trip, a common experience for many of us. But not all road trips are filled with laughter and adventure. Some, like this one, leave a lasting chill. I call this story Reverse Overdrive. It started like any family road trip. We were heading to Bicol from Manila, an 8-hour drive filled with the usual banter and jokes. My uncle, playing the role of a self-proclaimed tour guide, entertained us with stories about the landmarks we passed, never mind that he had no idea where we were most of the time. This was the age before smartphones, when getting lost was part of the fun, asking random strangers for directions along the way. We spent the next few days swimming in rivers, enjoying the local food, and making jokes about Bicol Express. Do they just call it Express here? The days flew by, and soon it was time to head home. The rain had poured the night before, and the hotel was covered in gamagamo, those large winged insects that swarm after a heavy downpour. I'd never seen them that big before. I thought that was the strangest thing we'd encounter on the trip. I was wrong. We started our drive home late in the afternoon. Most of the family was fast asleep within an hour, leaving just my older brother, who was driving, and me to keep him company. The roads were familiar. We'd passed them on the way in. It was getting dark, but we knew we were close to the major cities, the ones brightly lit with fast food joints and gas stations. My brother, eager to get home, started overtaking more cars and trucks. That's when I first saw him, a boy, standing by the side of the road, wearing a red hoodie. I made a joke to my brother about how odd it was for someone to wear a hoodie in this heat. We both laughed it off, and soon after, we overtook a white SUV and two large 16-wheeler trucks. 20 minutes later, it happened again. A boy in a red hoodie, standing in the same position, by the side of the road. Again, we passed the white SUV and the two 16-wheelers. I didn't think much of it at first, chalking it up to coincidence. Maybe there was a trend I didn't know about. But when it happened a third time, I felt a cold dread creeping in. Same boy, same hoodie, same SUV, same trucks. He explained that locals whispered about this kind of phenomenon. Travelers would get caught in a loop, seeing the same thing over and over, and those who didn't find a way out never returned. My uncle believed he knew how to break the loop, but there was no guarantee it would work. We had to turn all our clothes inside out and start praying now. It was the most bizarre request, but in that moment, it was the only hope we had. Everyone quickly reversed their clothes. My brother timed his, taking off his shirt only when he knew we were on a straight stretch of road to avoid any accidents. And then we all began to pray. Suddenly, it felt like the world around us warped. Time and space stretched like a rubber band being pulled to its limit. The car surged forward as if we had been caught in an invisible current, speeding faster than we thought possible. My heart pounded as the landscape blurred, and the road beneath us seemed to twist and ripple. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the feeling stopped. The city lights appeared ahead, warm and familiar, with the glowing sign of a fast food chain, the one with the dancing bee. We'd broken free. I kept quiet at first, not wanting to alarm my brother. But when it happened a fourth time, I couldn't stay silent. I told my brother to keep driving, not to stop, but to listen carefully. I explained that we'd been seeing the same boy, the same vehicles, for the past hour. He went pale, gripping the steering wheel tighter, and then he confirmed what I dreaded most: he'd noticed too. We were stuck in some kind of loop. My brother started to panic, his foot growing heavier on the gas pedal. I was equally terrified but tried to think logically. I memorized the license plate of the white SUV and the details of the trucks. Every 20 minutes, the same sequence played out. Same boy, same SUV, same trucks. We were trapped, and the fear of running out of gas started to weigh on us. This went on for 2 more hours. We should have been nearing the final stretch, the familiar highway leading home, but nothing changed. Finally, in desperation, we woke everyone up. My uncle, the one who had been our cheerful narrator earlier, suddenly turned deadly serious. "Whatever you do, don't stop the car," he ordered. His voice was shaky. "If you stop, we're dead. If you make a mistake on this road, we're dead." But the final confirmation that our nightmare was real came when we saw the 16-wheeler trucks again. This time, they were parked at a truck stop, their drivers sleeping in hammocks beside them. My brother, pale and shaken, finally pulled into a gas station, too exhausted to continue. I took over driving for the rest of the way home. As we sipped coffee at the station, the locals mentioned a terrible accident involving a white SUV and a van on the road we had just escaped. My uncle and I exchanged a look. We knew that accident was meant for us. Road trips will always have a place in my heart, but after that night, I learned there's more to fear on the road than just getting lost. If you enjoy these tales, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, keep your third eye open and always respect the unknown.